Hey everybody, Shauna here with Micah orange glasses. Kiefer, have we got you framed in pretty good?
How's it going?
Anyway, we are chatting about ketones and Pruvit in general, and his lifestyle is much different than mine. His age is much different than mine, being my son, but it was interesting. What was your initial reaction when I started talking about Pruvit? And
Well, my first initial reaction was to kind of shrug it off, just because, being in fitness, you just see so many products come and go, and they might be effective, they might be essential, they might not be. Either way, they're usually a lot of money, and you've usually got a budget for these things. So at first, I wasn't very convinced, and I wasn't looking to be very impressed, to be honest, because I didn't see what else I really needed, because up to this point, I knew exactly what my body needed to run on to function at optimal level performance and this and that. So, but then I started to learn a little more about just the science of it, and just the fact that it's the fourth macronutrient, and it's a alternative fuel source that...
But real quick, I mean, the reason you didn't really think it would be for you at first was because why?
Well, because the people presenting it seemed to all be so in love with the idea that it was a weight loss product, which
it's not. It's not really.
That's not how they necessarily were presenting it, but that was the effects that they were seeing most of. And me being a guy that always had to consume like 4,000 plus calories daily,
must be hard,
just to maintain or gain muscle,
Okay.
It seemed initially like something that I wasn't going to have any interest in, but quite the contrary. It's allowed me to stop taking mass gainers, for one thing, which has been great, because I've been able to find alternative sources of protein which are much higher end, which I really like, but for the quantity I couldn't have gone for it beforehand. But now with the ketones, it's allowing me to rely more on the ketone bodies versus a diet that relies so much on glucose production, which is really nice in my opinion. It's just allowed for a nice change in diet and overall feel, because I'll wake up and I don't feel depleted, like I haven't eaten enough, which is usually the case with a diet like mine.
Talk about what your normal day was and how it has changed since you've incorporated Pruvit.
Oh, it's completely different. No, it's still new to me, to be quite frank and honest. I love the effects of it. I definitely feel the sustained energy, just the sharper focus all around. I just feel crisper, and I really like that. I definitely feel like I'm stronger, if that makes sense. Like I remember what it feels like when I was so much skinnier, and it was nice to wake up in the morning and feel like, okay, I can feel myself building, and it feels like I've got an abundance of resource to build with now, versus before in the past few months where I just wasn't paying as much attention to my diet, and I wasn't looking to gain as much. It wasn't my priority at the moment. And so, I could feel the difference when you wake up. You just don't feel as nourished, or with this, I just feel like healthy. I don't feel like I'm lacking for anything nutritionally, and it
Have
feels
you
really
noticed
nice.
a difference in the way you feel in your workouts?
Again, no, just it's not like a pre-workout. I don't feel amped, or the Blue Ocean, I did try that once, and I do think that was a little bit different.
To explain, the Blue Ocean was one that they presented at this convention in Vegas, and they're going to be bringing it out. Shake up your electrolyte water there. That has a higher dosage and a stronger ketones in it. So it's really good for fitness buffs, because it kind of takes you through the whole day, sustained energy, and just has a little more caffeine, which not for me, but great for him. So what have you done? I mean, okay, also, what has been your reaction from people maybe you're around who are also fitness buffs, because they have the same adjustment to what is normally said in how to build muscle mass and how to be really strong as a fitness buff? Has their reaction been kind of similar to yours?
Well, yes, and understandably so, because like me, they generally have been in this world of fitness. They've gone to GNC. They've either started out by buying these products that they think they need, or have been pushed on them, or regardless, it's just you see so many different things that you could
high
be taking.
Carb, high protein,
and just this is a complete shift in thinking, really, if you incorporate it correctly, and that's what I really appreciate about it. Again, but it's really, for me, it's been more beneficial to stop approaching it with them like I'm trying to sell them something, and that's not really how I was. But my mindset, it's becoming much easier now to just share and talk about it as I fall more in love with what it's doing for me personally. It becomes much more just fluid when in conversation. And you know, it's definitely making progress. You know, it's just a different way of thinking. So generally these people have been so ingrained in their own system that,
which honestly we both were in our own system of thinking, pretty much trying to have it together. So a completely different way of thinking that is so opposite from what is normal in society of, you know, high protein, for me, low carbs, low fat, but healthy carbs, but now, you know, focusing more on the healthy fats. Does anybody have any questions? I see a few people there. Hi. Anything else you want to... What's your favorite flavor? What's your favorite way to take the Pruvit?
Well, I got the cacao.
The Swiss cacao.
Swiss cacao.
Which means
I like
chocolate.
it. Chocolate. Yeah, it's definitely nice. I think that one's easy for me because then I can add it to my shake if I want in the morning, which generally I like the idea of taking it a good half hour at least before I go to the gym, you know, because I get up at like 5:30, then I'll take it ideally before 5:45, and then when I get to the gym at like 7, you know, then it's had enough time to get going, and you know, it feels good by that time point, I would say, at least for me. So the Swiss cacao, that was a really good flavor. I did like, you know, the fruitier ones as well. I'm not really a Hawaiian punch flavor guy, so I would say the raspberry lemonade is what I think I'm getting next. I'm pretty excited to try that.
Yeah. Oh, the raspberry lemonade's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the fruity ones when I'm out and about because you can just shake them up, and they're really, really great with just ice water. So we don't have a whole lot of more time to add to this. If we see questions from you guys, any questions you have, you know, for him, we'll be happy to address that later. But we both got to run separate ways, get into the day. So thanks. Thank you, Micah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.